Have a 2003 Ford Explorer here. Have the blend door temperature motor on the passenger side. Not sure how well you can see it there. My finger can reach in there. It is clicking. The proper procedure from Ford is to take out the whole instrument panel. Kind of got started on that, but gonna see if maybe there's an option where I can get it out without removing everything. So gonna try that first. If not, everything on this instrument panel is gonna come out. That'll be pretty unpleasant. Okay, I was able to get the blend door actuator out on the passenger side. It was pretty tricky, but did get it out without taking the whole dash out. This one here has got a clicking noise when you turn the heat on, and kind of show you here. So this one here is the one that we pulled out. Let's see if we can get it where you can see it. This one here, you can move all over the place. So most likely there's a big old chunk of the gear missing there on that. This is the new one. This is a Murray. It's an aftermarket one. There might be available factory ones, but they're kind of hard to come by. This is what I could get. I had a good day today, so decided to do it. And I will go through a little bit of the stuff and show you how to get it out without taking the whole dash out when I have some more light tomorrow. Here I have this blend door actuator for the passenger side all cracked apart on it. And you can see here as I turn it, the wheel's turning, but the other's not. It's actually got a stripped gear on that one there. I don't know how well you can see that. The way this works is the electronics go and operate that motor. It turns that gear, and then that in turn turns that gear that has two sets of gears on it, and then it operates this here to move the door. So the reason I cracked this apart is I want to take this white piece out here, put it in, I'll go through the door and make sure that there's nothing binding in the door, which I don't believe there is, but it's always a good idea to make sure the doors aren't binding up before you put everything back together. Okay, I'm just about out of light, so I'm just about done for today, but wanted to show this. That's with that arm in there, and then I use picks a lot of times to move stuff around where my fingers don't reach, and it helps quite a bit getting in stuff and doing that. So this one here, you can see full travel one way, full travel the other way. So the door is in good shape, so I'll be good putting the other motor in, finishing it up tomorrow and getting it back together. So on this 03 Explorer, going back together on the passenger side blend door, again, able to do it without doing the dash. So the trickiness on going back in here and when you're going to remove it is there's this little vacuum pot here. You have to unbolt this to allow enough room for this to come out. So the trick with getting it both in and out is that once it's in there, you have to kind of move it around in various spots and get it past the arm here. There is a spot over here that the clip where the arm goes, but that's plastic. It did not come apart. If you could get it off all the way without breaking it, that'd be better. But this one here, as old and brittle as it was, I didn't want to take a chance. So gonna go ahead and fish it through there and then show some of the tools for putting it back together without taking it all the way apart. So on this 03 Explorer, I had it where I had the motor in there trying to install it. This part here is not lined up properly, and there's not enough room to turn it to slide it in and get the bolts on that. So a couple of different ways you can do that. You can set the temp control on the dash. I don't have that together. Or you can crack it apart and then reposition it. Takes a lot of patience on this. If it's a little bit on the cold, you might use a heat gun, just warm up these plastic tangs a little bit. You got to be very, very, very careful. It's super easy to break these. Not the ideal situation. Another thing that's kind of a little bit unusual on this is that this one is all the way in one position. Most of the time on these motors, they're positioned in the center position. So I'm going to rehome this and be able to install it. And you can also see on this one, on the new aftermarket one, that gear that was rounded on the other one is in good tack. Looks like it put some grease in there, so I'll kind of round that around to make sure that gets in there and it's good. Okay, finishing up, showing the actuator all the way in on this Explorer. This 2003, plugged in, everything's in there. Also got the vacuum motor in there. So just to show on the one that's outside here, the bolts are here, here, and here. And these are the tools that primarily help me with get it out. I had one where I had a flex head 8mm on this. Have this double flex 8mm wrench. Has socket end cap that sticks out a little bit. Don't know if you can buy those anymore. It used to be a Craftsman thing. And then what was very helpful as well, it doesn't have to be this type of screwdriver, but have something to press against this to keep pressure so you can ratchet both going in and going out. So gonna get it back together enough to verify that it works, and should be all good. No clicking now, and the heater control is working properly. This bracket removed gives quite a bit more access, as well as removing this HVAC ducting here on the passenger side. And these are the 3 locations for the bolts for the airbag.